The Minimax final here at the Speedworld Brook kart track in Austria gets underway with kart 405 Attila Solontai leading them away from pole, having won the pre-final. Daniel Maciejek is challenging from second on the grid, and further back a spin, that's 418. Axel Geller coming to grief at turn 1. Solontai has held the lead despite plenty of pressure from 428 Daniel Maciejek. And then it's 416, Nicholas Scholl slotting into third place, and Scholl is the one to watch here because he is the driver who comes into this final race of the 2012 Central and Eastern European Karting Challenge as the points leader. On his tail in fourth place is number 421 Simon Urbaniak with 479 Garbacz Wojciech and 410 Kovac Zombor running fifth and sixth in these early stages of the race. There's somebody running out wide, that's 406 Leon Lambing trying to work his way up into the top 10. Already the leaders are coming up to the end of lap 1. It's still Solontai leading from Maciejek with Nicholas Scholl looking good in third. He comes into this race with a 5-point lead over Kovac Zombor. So if he finishes ahead of Zombor in the race, he'll definitely be champion. But he's not taking a defensive approach to this race because he's just charged up to second place ahead of Maciejek, and right behind, going into the same corner, his rival Kovac Zombor pulled a move on Garbacz Wojciech to grab fifth place. So the two main championship contenders both pick up a place, but it's still Nicholas Scholl with the upper hand. Only a kart length behind the race leader, Attila Solontai, who has won a couple of pre-finals, but who has yet to win one of the finals in this year's championship. And he might not win this one either, because there goes Nicholas Scholl down the inside to put the 416 kart up into the lead of the race. Solontai then had to quickly cover off his line to make sure that Daniel Maciejek didn't steal second place from him. That he managed to do as 421 Simon Uraniak narrowly hangs on to fourth place from the 410 kart of Kovac Zombor, who has now got to go like the wind if he wants to win the championship. Zombor has somehow got to get himself up into the lead of this race, and to do that he's going to have to pass 4 other drivers, including his championship rival Nicholas Scholl. And even if he gets the lead and wins the race, he's still relying on Scholl dropping out of the top 3. So it's a tall order, tall but not impossible. Nothing ever is in kart racing. And here's a challenge for second place as Maciejek tries to squeeze down the inside. They rub wheels as they fight for position. Definite contact between the two. Here's a replay, and Maciejek goes for the tightest of gaps. He hits Solontai, squeezes him onto the curbs, and as they rub wheels, Solontai gets airborne for a brief moment, then loses the place. It was certainly a very aggressive move from Maciejek, but it was one that has paid dividends because he's now up to second place. Somebody else to benefit from that was the race leader, Nicholas Scholl, who has now been able to pull clear by 4 or 5 kart lengths. And here comes Solontai, the Hungarian storms inside, Maciejek under braking, but Maciejek is coming back at him. Contact, and that's Daniel Maciejek careering onto the grass, and he spins out of third place. Let's have another look. Well, Maciejek got the corner and was alongside, but there wasn't room for 2. I don't think Solontai even expected Maciejek to be there. Hard to apportion blame, really. Solontai certainly didn't deliberately run into Maciejek. If anything, I'd say that maybe Maciejek was always going to be taking a risk with a move at that corner. Anyway, the net result is that Kovac Zombor has picked up second place now in the 410 kart. Delayed by the incident, Solontai has dropped back behind him, so he's running third. And then it's 421 Simon Urbaniak and 479 Garbacz Wojciech, who get promoted to 4th and 5th places respectively. This is the battle for 6th, and 499 Damian Wisnicki goes for a move on 411 Vasil Milots. They hit one another, and that sends Milots out wide onto the grass. He recovers quickly enough, but still ends up losing 4 places. Again, there was a legitimate gap for Wisnicki to go for, but it's so tight into the corner that contact seems almost inevitable. We're on the 8th lap of the race. Back to this battle for 6th place. Damian Wisnicki heads the group, and there could be a change behind. Yes, that's a nice move from Dominik Musiatowicz in the 401 kart, but then more contact. He's hit by Adam Vince on the exit to the corner. The 414 kart comes through, and that was a bit unnecessary. It basically looked like Vince in the blue and yellow Alonso kart was trying to come back around the outside. There wasn't room. He clipped the side pod of Wisnicki and came off worse. Wisnicki, though, was also delayed and quickly dropped back to 8th. So 1 step forward, 1 step back for Dominik Musiatowicz, one of 8 drivers in this Minimax category, being run by the Ryskovski Motorsport team. Number 423, Katia Piff, was another of their drivers, and somebody else who managed to dart ahead of Adam Vince as the 414 kart gets offline and drops 3 places. So that's going to put Musiatowicz back up to 7th. And look who's catching them up. It's the 411 kart of Vasil Milots, the driver who had that wild ride on the grass a couple of laps ago after he was pushed out of 6th place. So he's still running in the top 10. There are plenty of scraps right the way through the order. These karts all, of course, powered by identical Rotax Max engines. Over the line goes 499, Damian Wisnicki, now well clear in 6th place as 414, Viktor Gabor comes under attack once more, this time from the 466 kart, and it looks like he's gone back another place. just in front. There's an attempted pass from Adam Vince on Katja Piv, but it doesn't quite pay off. And because he had to back out of it and lose a bit of momentum, he's now got Vasil Milots breathing down his neck in the 411 kart, and smack, he runs into the back of Vince, into the hairpin. He delays them both, and that's going to cost them time and a place, and more dramas as Milots tries to get back in the queue. Contact again, and this time it's the 414 kart that goes hurtling onto the grass. You certainly couldn't say that Vasil Milots has had a boring race, could you? He seems to have been in the middle of all the action over the last few laps. Sometimes he's been on the receiving end of contact, and sometimes he's been dishing it out. I think it's fair to say that once again the midfield of the Minimax race is absolutely chaotic. The reason is that you've got about 12 karts all running on a very, very similar pace, so the effects are twofold. Firstly, it keeps them all absolutely nose to tail. Secondly, it makes it very difficult for them to overtake one another. So when they do go for a move, it ends up being a bit of a gamble, and quite often there's a bit of contact along the way. It's certainly been another highly entertaining race, but we're on the final lap now, avoiding all of the excitement and drama, of course, at least for most of the race, has been Nicholas Scholl, the race leader. He's almost home and dry, not just for the race win, but for the championship title. Simon Slivosky grabs 8th place late on from Katja Piv, but up ahead the checkered flag has already fallen, and it's Nicholas Scholl who's won from his title rival Kovac Zombor. Attila Salonta has finished 3rd, with Simon Urbaniak, Garbak Svociek and Damian Wisnicki completing the top 6. So many congratulations to these young stars, not even teenagers yet, most of them, but gaining valuable international race experience all the time. Very well done to Nicholas Scholl, their centre of picture. With his 2nd race win of the season, he secures the Central and Eastern European title by 8 points from his Kalman Motorsport teammate, Kovac Zombor.